Oh, are you serious?
All right, Toronto Midway Warrior Nation fans and surrounding areas, proud to announce that this is our first podcast ever on the Tribe Sports Network. We'll be talking about the Toronto Midway Lady Cherokees Basketball Podcast 2025, episode number one. So we have the head coach here with us and some of his players, and I'll have them introduce themselves here in just a bit. So we're going to go first. You can see on the screen, he's got two of his varsity Lady Cherokees, and we'll talk to them here in a bit. But I just kind of wanted to give a little background here on the Tribe Sports Network. So as I said, it's mainly a podcast. We put this together. I want to thank athletic director, head football coach James Bueno. With his approval, we were able to put and get this going. And mainly, it's to promote the programs there at Toloso Midway, to be able to recognize the athletes that we have there, mainly to have the coaches come out and talk about their program and what they're doing, not only at the varsity level, but also at the sub-varsity level and even the middle school, right? The future. We were able to do volleyball and football, but we weren't able to get it on the Tri Sports Network because we didn't have it, but we have it now. And so I'm happy to have the coaches on. They'll come on once a week when they're available, and hopefully they'll bring some of their players so we can introduce the players and give them an opportunity to talk about what's going on, the chemistry that's being built there at Toloso Midway, the success. We'll talk about the past, the success that they've had, and what the expectations are coming into this year. So we got a little late start here in basketball, but that's my fault for trying to put the days and times and everything together. But we're here now, and we plan to then follow up with softball and baseball, soccer that's coming up. So right now, ladies, I want to thank you for coming out, spending some time with me here on the Tribe Sports Network. Introduce yourselves. Whoever wants to go first, just kind of your name, what grade you're in, a jersey number, and what position you play for the Lady Cherokees.
Okay, I'll start. I'm Addy Christian. I'm number 10. I'm a senior, and I'm the point guard this year for the team. And I've been on this is my third year on varsity.
Awesome.
Hi.
Awesome. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Marilin Martinez. I'm currently a senior. My jersey number is 4, and I usually play the 2 or 3.
All right. So once again, thank you for that. And now people that go and see you can put the name with the jersey, right? So Addison, is that what you said your name was?
Yes, sir.
So we'll go to you first. So tell us a little bit about yourself. So, I mean, did you go to school there at Toloso Midway since you were little?
Yes, sir. I've been at school here since I was kinder. My mom works for TM, so I've always been here.
Awesome, awesome. And so tell us, do you play any other sports there for Toloso Midway?
No, sir, just basketball.
Basketball, right? So it's basketball 24/7, 365.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. So how did you get involved in basketball? Like, who taught you? Did a parent play, or how did all that come together?
Well, my mom did play when she was younger, and I have another older brother, and he also played as we were growing up. But I got into it really when TM, we have a little league, it's called the Youth League. And Coach B and my mom have always been good friends, so he kind of threw me into it when I was third grade? I don't know, when we were little. And so from then on I've just played. Like I got into it through the Youth League, and then from then on I played.
Awesome. And you guys have had some success. So last year, you made the playoffs, got to the second round. I think if I saw correctly, I think you took the L to Divine. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So there's been some success there with the basketball program. So coming into this season, as a senior, what was your expectation? I mean, you guys are in district now, so you played the non-district, played some tough teams. But coming in for you, what was the expectation from you? What do you want to see from this team here in 2024, 2025?
My expectations are definitely to win district, and because I know we have the team to do it. We have a younger team. There's only 2 seniors on the team, me and Marilyn. So, but the younger ones are really they're well put together, and I think we have what it takes to be district champs and go pretty deep into playoffs.
That's awesome. And so let's talk a little. Well, before I get into the Robstown game, this is the game that you guys just played.
Yes, sir.
Any goals? Do you have any personal goals? I mean, you only play basketball, so you don't play any other sport. As a senior, was there anything when you became a freshman that you said, I want to, personal for me, I'd like to hit this many points, rebounds? Is there anything that you set a goal that you're still working on and hope you can accomplish this year before you graduate?
Well, as a freshman, my goal was to be on varsity, and I met that one. But, as I've been since sophomore, junior, and senior year, I really hope to be first team all district.
Awesome.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
I hope you get there. I
Thank
think
you.
always it's always great, when you set goals for yourself. I think you have to do that. I think that's what drives an athlete to continue to get better, to work hard. So you set goals for yourself. It's nice that, when you're young, I always like to see when freshmen make the varsity. I think it's special. I think it shows that the athlete has put in so much time and work. It can be a little hard when you're a freshman and you're playing these girls that have more experience than you at that level, because when you come from eighth grade right to high school, the speed of the game is so much faster. There's probably more people in the stands,
Yes,
girls
sir.
are stronger and older. So there are some hiccups, but man, it's awesome, because I think when you become juniors and seniors, you're ready to rock and roll. Right? You've already been playing tougher competition, tougher girls. So I'm glad to hear that that was a goal and you met that, and definitely the goals that you have coming in the season. I hope they all come true for you. It sounds
Thank
like
you.
hard. Let's talk a little bit about the Robstown game. So you guys are in district. You're playing Robstown, and they got the W. Talk to me a little bit about Robstown. What did you see from your team in playing against Robstown?
I think we went into the game a little hot-headed and being like, yeah, we should win this. We're gonna win this. Like, we can relax, we can calm down. And instead, Robstown came in and showed us that if the moment you take your foot off the gas, the moment that's when they can come and swoop it in. And that's exactly what they did. We showed a lot of like we backed down from a fight is really what it looked like. And the moment things weren't going our way, we started to hang our heads, and that really also put us in a tough spot because I feel like in order to like you're going to face adversity. So whenever you face that adversity, you have to come in and still know that like okay, we have to like fix this, do this. Like we all have to be a team and still know that at the end of the day like we need to work together, and we just didn't do that against Robstown.
The beauty of this is you get another shot at them, right? At
Yes,
your
sir.
went to Robstown. So they got another shot at Robstown, and it'll be at your place. So you definitely got an opportunity to get that W. That's always good. That's the good thing about district is, if they beat you once, you got a chance to beat them the second go around. So the Lady Cherokees in their first district game, you're hearing here, take the loss, but they will be coming back later on in a couple of weeks here. They'll be playing at Toloso Midway. So we hope that the gym is packed. And there's a lot of support there for the basketball programs right now for the Lady TM, the Lady Cherokees there. So let's talk about the upcoming district game. So Coach told me, I was looking at the Max Prep schedule, and it's a little off, but you guys do have a game. I think it's tomorrow versus Cal Allen.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Cal Allen, Toloso Midway. It's always a war out there, right? Like it's we had Coach Chapa with volleyball, and I've heard so much. I mean, I live in Rockport, but I know about the rival there between teams. TM always wants to beat them; they want to beat TM. So, not sure how strong it is in basketball, but your thoughts on taking on Cal Allen and what you have to do to get the W and go 1-1 in district.
Well, I mean, like I always say, we could be playing checkers, or we could be playing shuffleboard, or we could be playing any game, and if it's Cal Allen TM, it's always going to be a dogfight. What we need to do to win the game is we need to come in there just ready to play, which I think we've had really, losing to Robstown woke us up a little bit and kind of told us, hey, you know what? It's not going to be a cakewalk. And going through our district, Robstown showed us anyone can win a game any night. And in order for you to be the team to win it, you got to be prepared. You got to be ready to go. You got to be ready to lay it on the line. And I think, with the game on Tuesday, that just kind of maybe came at the right time. Maybe sometimes, you never want to experience a loss, but when a loss wakes you up, I'm really excited to see what we're going to have on the court tomorrow. The girls have been working out really hard, getting after it, preparing for the game. Keys to victory, we're going to have to make sure that, we play good. We're patient offensively, but then defensively we're flying around. Whatever defensive plan that we have, whether we're pressing, whether we're going man to man or whatever we're doing, we're doing it full throttle and then making sure that we're working all one as a unit. One thing that we preach is, we're only as strong as our weakest link. So if four of us are doing their job and then one person's not, then that's, a good team like Cal Allen's going to find that weak link and they're going to expose it. And that's what we can't have. So we got to make sure whatever five are on the court, whether they're starters mixed in with reserves, we're all working together as one. And then we have a unified goal tomorrow to get the dub and get the win and get back on the winning track.
That's great, Coach. And is that game, what's the time? Is that in Toloso Midway or is that in
It
Cal
is at
Allen?
TM game. Tip off for the girls is at 6:15. Tip off for the boys at 7:30. It is our whiteout game, so we're hoping that everyone that's going to come and cheer the Warriors and the Cherokees, they're wearing white and they're here to support us. And we're here to, we're going to put on a great show, a great basketball game, and it's going to be two good teams going at it. And hopefully, we come out with the dub.
Absolutely. And so Coach Garcia was supposed to come on today at 7 just to let the people that are watching here, but he had to reschedule for next week. Something came up and he couldn't make the podcast tonight at 7. So Coach Garcia and the scheduled podcast that we had for the boys will not take place tonight. But Coach, we'll be back next week. We'll have him on for the first time, and hopefully he'll have some Warriors on as well. But Coach Garcia wasn't able to make the podcast today that was scheduled at 7. So Coach, the girls play. So the girls play at 6:15. That's our varsity. They're at TM against Cal Allen, and then the boys play at 7:30 at home. They're at TM also against Cal Allen. That's their first district game. Is that correct?
That's the boys' first district game. This is our third. We're 1-1. We took on Laredo Harmony last week on Friday in Laredo Harmony, and I believe the score for that game was 64-31. We were victorious. So right now we're sitting 1-1, and then this is going to be the boys' first district game.
Well, for the Lady Cherokees, beating Cal Allen, that's just sweet, right? Just to beat them. That's sweet in itself. I mean, but it will also give the Lady Cherokees 2-1 in district, which is huge in district. As you heard the girls here, they're trying to get back. A goal of theirs is to get in the playoffs and make a deep run. They went 2 rounds last year, so they're building to continue to get back there again and go past the second round. That's great. For all Toloso Midway fans, we have a responsibility. If anybody hears me on the podcast, what I say, coaches coach, players work hard to play. The community has a responsibility, I feel, to go out there, pack the gym, wear the school colors with pride, cheer the Lady Cherokees and the Warriors. The louder the crowd, as packed as we can get it, I think gives the players, the Lady Cherokees, a boost. Right, it might be what makes the difference in getting the win over the Lady Wildcats. So all that takes place tomorrow here at the gym in Toloso Midway. Again, the varsity 6:15, and then stick around. You can catch another great game for the boys at 7:30. And again, it's Cal Allen, right? So these two teams, when they meet, they're going to battle. Tomorrow will be no different. Coach, I forgot the girl on the other side. What is your name again? My apologies.
Marilin Martinez.
Marilyn. So how you doing, Marilyn?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Thank you for coming out. You ladies, for the first time, you guys aren't scared at all. I mean, you guys were ready for it. And so sometimes they come in, they're kind of shy because we're live. We're not pre-recording. We're live so people can watch it. But you guys are doing a great job. You're ready for the interview, Coach. So you got some great leaders. They come on, they're ready to go and talk about the program. And I obviously I love that you girls are interviewing so great. You got no fear. So tell me a little bit about yourself. So you're a senior, and how did you get started with basketball? I mean, how long have you been playing it? And do you play any other sports, or is basketball the only sport you play there at Toloso Midway?
I do play other sports. I run cross country, and then I do play basketball. I play softball, and I also run track.
Oh, that's great. So there's been a lot of success there. So we're definitely going to be reaching out to the coach and doing a podcast with them as well. So maybe we'll have you on there when do softball. So have you always, did you go to school there, TM, since you were young, or did you move in?
Yes.
So you've been,
I've been at TM since kindergarten. Yes.
wow. So both of y'all are TM Lady Cherokees through and through from the beginning, right? So you're both seniors. That's great. What was your expectation of this team? You heard your teammate talk about what her expectations, but for you, the non-district is over. You're 1-1 in district. For you, when you were coming into the season, what did you want to see from this team? What was your expectation for this team?
Um,
Oh, playoffs in district. It's okay.
You put her on the hot seat.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It's yeah,
oh, sorry. Just getting far into playoffs and doing well in district. I think we can definitely be the district champs.
absolutely. And you guys have a chance to do that. I mean, you're 2-1 here. So you got an opportunity. You're right in the thick of things. And getting that win tomorrow against Cal Allen really puts you guys in that position to win that district title. Tell me, what's the chemistry been like there? So you're a senior. You guys were talking earlier about most of the players are younger. I don't know if you have any freshmen on the team and sophomores, but it is a younger team with only 2 seniors. Tell me what the chemistry has been like for you 2 seniors to play with some of the players that are younger than you.
I think it's great. We all get along really well. You know, we all love each other. I think we all work well on the court as like, as a whole.
Yeah, you know, one thing I hear from coaches is culture and family. And I think a lot of people, when they go, it's about wins and losses. Obviously, you play to win, but I think it's key. There's got to be some trust. Obviously, you got to build the culture right, the right way, and the players respond. Coaches have a tough job to get 100%. They got to get the best from their players, you're right, and so they got to figure things out when things aren't going right. But family, trust in each other, and loving each other is huge in sports. Once you build that, you got a great foundation, man. Great things happen. So I'm glad to hear that that's happening there at Toloso Midway. You know, I've never really. I mean, we used to go against Toloso Midway when I was in school, but I got to tell you, you guys got some great athletes. Just in football and some of the players that I talked to and in volleyball, there's some great athletes at Toloso Midway, and I'm glad that Coach Rios gave me an opportunity to shine some light on the athletes there because a lot of great athletes there at that school and you guys get an opportunity to come on the podcast and people get to see the talent that's there at TM. Let's talk a little bit about the upcoming game. I want to get your thoughts on Cal Allen. They're tough. They're always tough. So what's the keys for you to get the win? What does your team need to do you feel to get the win tomorrow against the Lady Cats?
Well, I think we definitely need to be flying around on defense. That's one main goal that we need to have.
We also need to go in with a good mindset. I feel mindset is a big part of a game, of a basketball game. I feel like any game, but especially in basketball, if you go in with like, oh, there's this girl, like, it just takes away from you playing the game and just doing what you're taught to do.
Yeah, someone told me one time we were playing a team and I said, man, we got to beat them. We were talking. He said, you know what the difference between our team and their team? He said, we want to win and they know they're going to win. And it stuck to me, right? He's all like, we want to win the game. They're coming in knowing they're going to win. We got to get like that. We got to know that we're going to win the game. And it always stuck to me because it made a lot of sense when they told me. Mindset is right. You got to go in there. Some people think it's arrogance, but it's confidence. I mean, you have to go in there and know you're going to win, right? And then you win. If you go in there doubting yourself, the team doubts himself, probably not going to get the W, right? So going in there, the mindset, getting it right, absolutely, you're right. Makes a big difference in a win or loss. Now, I'm going to ask you, ladies, something. You guys are seniors, so I'm going to ask you. Hope I don't put you on the spot, but either one can answer first, and then we'll go to the second one. So you got a Coach Bueno back there. I want you guys to talk a little bit about him. I don't know him. A lot of people in the community probably still don't know him. Maybe a lot of people do, but I don't. So tell me, what's Coach like? What's he like coaching you ladies?
Coach B is very, I don't even know the word. I think he's a great coach. He knows there's a good balance of knowing when to like get stern and get serious and also like have fun and play the game that we all love. I mean, we've all played it for a while. And so he has a good balance of, the equaling them out. And I think he really wants to see us win and do well. And he also is really good at taking accountability. It's never just like pointing the finger at us, like with Robstown. Wasn't pointing the finger at us. He was pointing the finger at everybody. Like not even pointing the finger. He was just, this is also including me. Like he knows how to take accountability, and it's not just the player's fault. He knows that there's things he needs to work on as a team. Like we're all one. I think he does really well preaching that.
Well, I'll tell you what, the great coaches do that. The great
Yes, sir.
accountability, they don't put blame. Even if it isn't there, they'll always take responsibility for what happens. The bad, they always take responsibility. The good, kind of put it on everybody else. So that's why we have the podcast, because coaches, every coach I've ever had here, and we've had coaches that have had success, right, in their sport, they never pat themselves on the back. They just don't do that. Great coaches, they just give it to the players or they give it to somebody else. And that's why here on the podcast, we're here. We do it for them because they deserve so much. I think it's tough to coach. When you go to the stands, it's real easy from the stands to do this, do that. And I used to be like that. And, if we did this, we would have won, but that's not what really happens. There's a lot of work that goes into putting together a plan at the game. You got to have patience. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, but you're absolutely right. The great coaches are going to take up accountability for a loss, and they're going to get back to the drawing board right away, figure out what they have to do for the next game. I was always told you got to have amnesia when you play, right? Like you lose a game, you got to just let it go during the game, after the game, the next one up. That's just the way it goes. And the teams that can do that find a lot of success. So it's great that you're able to talk like that about your coach, and talk about the good things that he does, because a lot of times that doesn't get put out there, ladies. And we want the community to know from the girls that are there every day with them what the coach is like. So I'll go to you next. So what do you got to say about Coach B? I'm going to call him Coach B. Y'all call him Coach B. I'm going to call him Coach B.
Yes, sir.
What does Coach B mean to you? How has he helped you develop your game in basketball?
Well, I think one main thing would be how he believes in every one of us. He believes in us like 100%. He like we can be playing a hard team and he's just like, girls, I know y'all could do it. And we're just looking at each other like he's insane. Like he just like believes in us. He thinks that we can get the job done.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Glad to hear that. And you guys probably won't be around, but if you check the podcast, because I'm going to ask Coach before I let him go, to talk a little bit about both of you and what he sees from you guys. So you won't be there. You gotta go home. If you check the podcast, if you don't know already, check it out later and hear what he had to say about both of you. But again, TM Nation, the Lady Cherokees, man, they're 2-1 in district. Big game tomorrow at home against Cal Allen. I can't express to you guys how big this game is. The Lady Cherokees get to win 3-1. And they're well on their way. Does that mean that they're going to win district? Absolutely not. That's still, they got a ways to go, but 3-1 really puts them in the driver's seat and in control. And one thing we can do is come out there and cheer them, be loud, and let's pack that gym so much that we have to go on to the other side. But definitely come on out. It's a huge game tomorrow. I know the coaches and the ladies would really appreciate all of the support. So hopefully, ladies, you guys are going to have a big crowd tomorrow. And good luck on the game tomorrow. I hope that next week we're talking that you guys beat Cal Allen. That would be sweet. So I'll give you guys, it would be. I'll give you guys the final word. So whoever wants to go first, anything you want to add before we let you go?
I don't know. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. I hope that you guys come back before the season ends. But any shout out? You want to give a shout out to mom, dad?
Oh yeah. Shout out to my parents. I love y'all.
Everybody sees it, man. And I guarantee you that are not from TM, because what we do is we post it on our other networks. You can also hear it on Spotify. So I'll create a post and let you know where you guys can go to hear it on Pocket Cast or Spotify. And we have it on YouTube channel, our Twitter. So it's everywhere. So people can hear the podcast and see all of the talent that we have there at the Loso Midway. Anything you want to add before we go?
Good.
You guys are good. No more shout outs. All right. Well, thank you very much, ladies. Good luck tomorrow. And hopefully we'll talk to you guys again before the season ends.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And good luck.
Bye-bye.
Well, Coach B, I tell you, very impressed with the girls. They're ready to go. They were ready to interview, and it's always a lot of fun to have the girls come out and talk about the program, talk about themselves. I think it's great. A lot of times, people don't know what's going on in the program, and that's why we set this podcast up. Where I did give coaches an opportunity to come and talk to the community about what's going on. There's a lot of great things that go on in the program that never gets told, right? And so this is the opportunity. And so thank you for bringing the girls out. They were a lot of fun interviewing them. But let's now get back to the game. So Robstown, um, tough loss. Obviously, you could have gone, but you're 1-1, and nothing is really lost. You got another shot at them. Your thoughts on what you saw from the Lady Cherokees in that game versus Robstown?
I do think that we went into the game. Maybe the girls went in a little bit, maybe a little bit, just maybe taking Robstown a little bit lightly, kind of just feeling like they could go in the game. The game's going to be given to us. And like I told them after the game, I said, if we were going to have a letdown like this, I'd rather it be now, early in the season, that can wake us up and they could let us know any given night, anyone can take you out. That's why you play the game. You just don't go to the game and say, hey, we're playing against so-and-so. Oh, we're better than you. We're going to get the win, and then you guys get the loss. It don't work out like that. You got to play the game, and that's why we play it. But, respect to Robson, they came out, they played, they were ready to battle. I mean, they came out, they were at home, and they were confident, and, you can't take anything away from them. They played the game, they won the game. Do I feel like we put our best foot forward that night? No, I don't. Um, you know, we came back to the drawing board the next day, and we regrouped, and like I told the girls after the game, I was like, it didn't work out today, but it's all going to be how we respond tomorrow. If we can come back tomorrow and it can be a day where we have a bad practice due to the hangover because we didn't get the win tonight, or we can get back on get back on track, get back to the drawing board, prepare for Cal Allen, and focus on the future rather than sit here in pity and worry about the past. So that's kind of our look right now. We're just, we're focused on this game on Friday night. Um, and we're excited about what's going to happen. We're going to go game by game. We're going to, focus on Cal Allen, then Kingsville, then Zapata, and then we'll play the second round of district. And, whenever Robstown comes back up, I'm sure the girls will be excited and ready to take them on here at our home court and try to take the win back and try to get that one back from the one that we lost whenever we lost to them in Robstown.
Absolutely. And we'll get coach's thoughts a little bit here on the upcoming game and the non-district. I definitely want to get coach's thoughts on how he thinks the Lady Cherokees fare. They play some tough teams. So we'll get that here in just a bit. But coach, before we continue to move on, I did want to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself. Coach B, how long have you been there at Toloso Midway as their coach? How long have you been coaching basketball in general? How long have you been a coach? And are you from around this area? Are you from TM?
No, actually, I'm from Rivera. I'm from, I moved to Rivera, I believe it was my third grade year, graduated from Rivera. And then from there, I went to school at McMurray, played football at McMurray and Abilene for a year, came home, went to Kingsville, then went to Sam Houston State, and then decided to come back after that and graduated from A&M Corpus Christi. I started off at TM as a teacher's aide and then kind of worked my way up. I don't know if you know Coach Serna, Hector Serna. He coaches at Banquetti. He was the head coach at the time whenever I first started coaching here at TM. And he took a liking to me. He saw me coach. Like I heard you. I don't know if you heard Addison, but she was talking about the youth activities. And my two older sons were playing in youth activities, and I was coaching their youth activities teams. And he saw me coaching them, and then the next year he was like, "Hey, coach, I've got an opening. I'd like for you to come on." And actually, coincidentally, that was going to be my first year coaching. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm all for it." And he goes, "The only thing is, not a boys' side; it's the girls' side." And I was like, "Hey, basketball is basketball. I just want an opportunity." So he was gracious enough to give me an opportunity. He saw something in me. I worked with him. I was his freshman coach. Worked up to be his JV varsity assistant coach, and then whenever he decided to retire. I don't want to say it was about give or take 2019, I want to say 2018, 2019, he decided he wanted to recommend me for the position. So I applied and went through, and with his support and, his backing, I was able to get the position. And then since 2018, 2019, I've been the head girls basketball coach here at TM.
Coach, I love that story. I love when you start, like you said, someone gives you an opportunity and then you take full advantage of that opportunity. All I need is an opportunity. My story similar to that, not in sports, but in my career that I took. Someone saw something in me that I didn't see in myself at that time. I was young, and they said, "Man, you can go," and they gave me that opportunity, and I took full advantage of it, and it helped me out so much. I grew as a person, as a man, as a father, and it really helped me out. So you're right. I love to hear those stories because I come from something like that where just give me an opportunity and you take full advantage of it. So great story. And yeah, I mean, to be able to get an opportunity and then head the program and be the head guy there and instill your program in there and you're seeing the success that they're having. That's awesome. So that's great. So Coach B's been at TM for quite some time
Yes,
now
sir.
from around this area though, so that's good to always come back and help our athletes here continue to grow, not just in the sport, but right, you're helping them get to the next level and be good students, good people. That's awesome. So then you talked a little bit about Cal Allen and what you have to do against them. But the non-district, I look at the non-district, it's over now. But coaches set up the schedule because some teams are tough. I'm seeing some of the teams you played here. What was the expectation, coach, going in? I mean, like, what did you want to see from the teams? Obviously, there's some wins, there's some losses there, but overall, what did you want to see from the Lady Cherokees before you got into district? And did you see that from them as you played these non-district games?
Definitely, for sure. Great question. Well, coming into the season, I always preach, you've got three seasons. You've got your non-district season, you got your district season, and hopefully you've got your playoff season. What I've always just tried to do was with the non-district season, try to get some teams in there that are gonna help your team grow. And I feel that can happen in two ways. You can play against a team that's pretty good, and maybe you're not as good as them, but they're right there and they can help your team get better through adversity and playing good competition. And then, of course, you want to help build confidence. So you play some teams that you feel like when you go into it, there's a pretty good chance you're going to probably get the win just because of the players that you got and that you just kind of reading between the lines, there's a good chance you're probably going to get the win. So going through our non-district season, we go to Westico down in the valley to a tournament. We're the only team from the Coastal Bend that goes down there to this tournament. It's in Westico. It's called the Mid-Valley Chick-fil-A tournament. This year they had, I believe, 24 teams, and they're all Valley teams. And then you see a wide spectrum of teams. You see teams like Edinburgh Vela, teams like Brownsville Vets, teams like Harlingen South. These are perennial teams from the Valley that are 5A or high, or some maybe even 6A, 4A teams that year in, year out, they're making the playoffs. They're getting to the second, third, fourth round of the playoffs. So we wanted to take on that type of competition just to help us get better because we're playing good competition. So we went to the Mid Valley one down there, and we took on Nikki Rowe, who's, man, they're having a really good, phenomenal year this year. They apply a lot of pressure. That's what I thought we needed to see. We needed to see teams that were going to put pressure on us, so that way we could get used to playing through that type of game. I felt like last year, maybe sometimes whenever we played a tough team, maybe the girls kind of backed away from a challenge a little bit. And then when we played a team that that we were confident that we were going to be able to beat, they not only rose to the occasion, but they felt a little bit more comfortable playing against those teams. So this year, I wanted them to get used to playing against good competition. So that way, whenever we take on the Cal Allens and the Robstowns of the district, we're ready for a good match, we're ready for a good game, and we're prepared, ready to go against a team that's going to give us a fight.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And sometimes I've talked to coaches, you want to get the wins, right? But the coaches always tell me in any sport, football, baseball, they're like, man, I tell you what, you want to get the wins, but non-district is really about getting better, playing teams like you said, that's gonna get our team better and prepared for the district. And sometimes, there's more losses than wins. Sometimes there's wins, but it's all coaches saying preparation. That's what they're worried about. And then they say sometimes, like in baseball, if a coach is telling me, we just want to see what I got. Also gives an opportunity to see our younger players to see what we can do. And it's all in preparation for district. And so I always like asking coaches that question. I want to hear what they got to say, why they put that together. and how that helps the team. I'd like to get into the roster now. And before I do that, there's two seniors, but your assistant coaches. So, it always starts with the head coach. He sets the foundation. Obviously, you've done a great job there, but the success doesn't happen if you don't have some great assistants. Who are the
True.
assistants here for the 24-25 season?
Well, my assistant coaches, I'm blessed. I've got Coach Robert Rios, who used to be the head boys basketball coach at Robstown. When he made the move to TM, the only spot we had was on the girls' side, and man, I can't thank him enough that he was willing to come onto the girls' side and help us out. I mean, Coach Rios has been a really, really integral part in all the success that we've had here these past couple of years. The first year he got here, we got to the third round of the playoffs. I'd say we came away. I mean, we were about a quarter away from making it to the regional tournament, losing to Somerset and a tough one in Cuero. But, Coach Rios, man, he just comes with a wealth of knowledge. And it's a blessing to have a coach who's seen as much basketball as he has. He's also sat in the head coach's role to be able to be your right-hand man and be right there to kind of tell you, yeah, coach, let's do this. Hey, let's do this. And then I can run stuff by him and he can be like, he feels comfortable of like, nah, let's probably not do that, coach. And then he can come right back at me with an idea. So to be able to have him as my assistant, man, that's a blessing. I mean, it's a huge blessing. Like I said, a lot of the success we've had here in these past couple of years are due to Coach Rios being here at TM. My other assistant coach is Deanna Johnson. She this is her second year, but she just came in ready to learn. I recall whenever I was first year coaching under Coach Cerna or even coaching football and kind of just being new to the group. And one thing I told myself was, you got to listen. The only way you're going to learn is if you listen. You can't sit out there and try to take on too much. You got to listen, ask questions, and be willing to learn. And that's one thing about Coach Johnson. She's come in and she's willing to learn. She doesn't, she's a stickler for discipline. So she's going to hold the girls accountable, but at the same time too, she's always willing to learn new things and try. And if she's got questions, she's always going to ask. That's one thing that I told her from the beginning. I said, Coach, if you got any kind of questions, you ask. Don't be shy. No question's a dumb question. If you want to learn, we're willing to teach. So, she's been a great addition these past couple of years that we've had Coach Johnson as well.
Awesome. Like I said, it starts with the head coach. You got to set the coach and the foundation, but it's so important. These assistant coaches and recognizing them is great because when you have the success, they play such a huge part in the development, right, of the kids and how they're teaching them. And a lot of times it goes unnoticed, right? They don't get a lot of recognition. And so that's why you're on the podcast. Hopefully we can have them on at some point before the basketball season ends and so that we can talk and also introduce them because I think they play such a great role. They're critical to the success of the program. And coach, it seems like you got two good ones there.
Yes, sir.
And with that, then we'll jump over to the varsity roster. Not sure if you have the varsity roster, but if you do, two seniors, the bulk of this team obviously will be back next year. That's a plus, I think, for you. With all the success that you'll have this year, you'll have a lot of those girls, pretty much all of them coming back. If you have the roster, can you let us know who's on the varsity there for the Lady Cherokees?
I don't have a roster on me, but let me see if I can kind of run it down just kind of off memory. Number 1, we got junior Julie Flores. Number 2, junior Jolie Torre. Number 3 is a sophomore, Robin Cabrera. Number 4 was Marilin Martinez. Number 5 is a freshman, Gabby Ramon. Number 10 is Addison Christian, who was here. She's a senior. Number 11 is Kaylee Pena. Kaylee Pena, she's a sophomore. And then number 12, we have Layla Cantu, who's a sophomore as well. Then we go to number 14, who's a junior, which is Payton Green. Number 15 is Isabella Garcia, who's a junior, who also plays volleyball. Number 21, Mia Ray Chapa, and she is a junior as well.
Wow. So you got some young sophomores. You got the bulk of that team coming back. I mean, TM Nation, I mean, when you look at this team, coach is only losing 2. So these girls, if they come back next year, they're all going to be there, more experienced. And that's good for the program. On top of whatever young players will come up as well, this team pretty much is all coming back. And coach, Bella Adu, she's just a stud. Bella Garcia. I mean, I heard about her. when she was playing volleyball and looking and she's still getting awards, right? And all kinds of stuff that's happening to her. We're following. It's exciting. So you've got a stud there. Not sure how good she is in
And
basketball.
I'll tell you about Bella. She's a phenomenal athlete. I'll tell you what, she is a competitor at that. That's one thing, she competes so hard in volleyball, and then for her to come to the basketball court as soon as volleyball's over, and for her to compete as hard as she does and play as hard as she does, she just gives us an added edge. And I've always told Bella one thing that I really, really, really like or really like admire about volleyball is good or bad when they're playing a game, they all come together and they huddle up. And they kind of communicate and they keep each other up. And that's one thing I think that Bella brings to our program is that whenever things are down, Bella's the one, it's the spark plug to get the things going again. So just a shout out to Bella. I mean, we really appreciate her. Like I said, she got so much stuff going on for volleyball. She can simply just say, you know what, coach, I'm going to just focus on this. And I respect her for it because, I mean, she's such a great volleyball player. But the competitor in her, brings her to the basketball court. And man, we're glad that we have her playing basketball as well.
Yeah, I think TM is so lucky to have her, and she interviews great,
Oh,
coach.
yeah.
She comes in, she's so. I mean, I was so impressed with the way she interviewed, but definitely looking forward to watching her play. I didn't get a chance to actually see her live this year, but definitely would love to go out there and watch her because at the end of the day, she's a great athlete in anything that she does. I think she'll be successful in anything she does. So great to have her there at Toloso Midway. She's got one more year. You'll hear us here on the Tri-Sports Network talking about Bella Garcia. You'll hear that name again a lot, probably this year and of course next year. Coach, I want to ask you about a player on the basketball court, somebody that, I mean, you have your seniors and they do what they do, but who is someone that off your, thinking off your head that you say is young, will be back next year, but you see a lot of potential in what this player could become in the future?
Um, I would say off my head, kind of just right now is number 14, the junior Payton Green. Um, Payton, she was on the varsity last year. Um, didn't get a lot of playing time, but just kind of stuck it through the season, kept on working. Um, and then coming into this year, we're really hoping that she was kind of gonna grow into the role that we wanted to see from her. She's kind of she plays, she's more of a guard, but at times, sometimes depending on what we're running and what we're doing and who we're playing, she may end up playing inside. And Peyton's never one to tell me no. I could tell Peyton, I need you to do this, and Peyton's going to do it. But her shots come along really well. She's also one that's going to look to penetrate and drive. But I know when Peyton's on the court, she's going to give me everything she's got. And then one thing about Peyton is she really wants to please. She wants to please. She wants to please her teammates. She wants to please her coaches. So she's going to go out every time on the court. She's going to give it all she's got and leave it out there. But I just feel that Peyton took a really big step forward this year, and I'm really, really excited in the step forward that she's going to take next year.
Thank you for that, coach. I know you've got stars, and stars always get mentioned, but there's always these athletes that work so hard. And that's why I always ask that question because I want the coaches to be able to talk about all of their players, but players that are really working hard and getting some recognition on the podcast at the work that they're doing. And so when you go out there, you're paying attention to the name and the work that's going on. You listen to this podcast and then you go down to the game. I want to see that girl that coach was talking about. I remember that number. I remember that we're talking about this girl. And that's why we ask these questions. No one knows them better than coach. Coach sees them there every day through the good, through the bad, through the practice, through the work they put in. And here on the podcast, we give them the opportunity to talk about their players and the work that's being put in. Coach, the last question I have for you is expectations. You heard what the girls had to say. Actually, I got one more question after this, but the expectation, what is your expectation of this team in 2024-25? I mean, you've seen them through the non-district, you've seen what they put in at practice. What's your expectation of this team and just how far can this team go this year?
Well, my expectation, I feel, is that I want us playing our best basketball at the most important time, which would be district right now. I feel like, it's been kind of a little bit of an up and down season. Sometimes it's been really, really good. Like we've had some really bright spots. We played Bishop, who was in our district last year, and they ended up moving down to 3A, but we kept the game because, like I said, we wanted to play good competition. We played Bishop and we played them really, really, really well. I mean, we went out there and we lost to them by 1 with a chance to win the game there at the very end, missing a layup, which if we make it, we win the game. But you know, we played them really well. We took on Davenport here at our Pride of Texas tournament 2 weeks ago, right after Christmas. And you know, we played Davenport, who at that time I believe they were ranked number 14 or 15 in the state, and we ended up losing to them by 12. But it was a tightly contested game, back and forth, and we just, I mean, we just left it all in the court. And like I had told the girls before, if we kind of go out there and we hold back, it's going to be a long game. If we go out there and compete and fight, then it's going to be a game where we got a chance. And we did. We had a chance to get the win. But you know, like I said, they were a tough team. But if we can consistently play like when we play Bishop, when we play Davenport, if we can consistently play like that every night during district, I feel like we got a real good shot to be district champions. And that's the expectation right now. I mean, you know, going into district, we talked about being undefeated district champs. You know, that wasn't in the works. That's not what happened. Robstown came out. They got the win. It is what it is. Much respect to them. But we're going to prepare and take every game and learn from that game and know that we just can't take anybody lightly, no matter who it is. So my expectation this year is that we take every game serious, go into the game, be ready to play as hard as we can, and play like we played against those teams that I mentioned a second ago. And if we can play like that, I have no doubt that we can be district champions and then work our way to get past the second round, because our goal is to get at least to the third round, possibly maybe to the fourth round, and go from there.
Awesome, coach. And yeah, Bishop, they're a good program. Small
Man.
school, but man, they're good. Their basketball program is really
Big
good.
shout out to Coach Luna over there, everything that she does with her team. They, you know, it was great having them in the district. I mean, when you have a team like that in your district, that only makes your team better, having to play them twice and prepare for them. And then not only that, she's always willing. I could call her and ask her any kind of question if I got questions about something, and she's always willing to share. And, you know, she just, you know, like I said, having her in the district was a good thing. Believe me, though, when they said they were going down to 3A, I didn't shed a tear. I was like, oh, okay, they're going to go down to 3A. Well, okay, we'll live with that. We're good with that. But no, much respect to Coach Luna and her program and all her coaches over there and what they do with their kids.
It is. It is small school, but a heck of a basketball program. Them boys too, man. They're
Yeah.
every year they're good out there. So you're playing some good, tough competition. It's only gonna, like you said, gonna make the Lady Cherokees better. Playing these winner losses, it makes you better, and it gives you an opportunity to see what you have to work on going into district. So again, TM Nation, tomorrow, make sure you show up early to the gymnasium there at Toloso Midway. Two big games, varsity, they're at home against Cal Allen. The Lady Cherokees varsity team takes the court at 6:15 p.m. District game, big. And then after that, you'll have the boys at 7:30. So you definitely don't want to miss it. We invite everybody to come out, be loud, wear the school colors with pride, and cheer our teams to a victory. It'll be a big win if we can defeat Cal Allen for the girls, to put them in the driver's seat, I feel, going into district. And then the boys start district play, first game of the season, district against Cal Allen. So definitely go out there and support our basketball programs here at Toloso Midway. Coach, the last question I got for you before I give you the final word is talk about your players. You brought the two seniors in. You heard what they said about you. They had nothing but great things to say about a coach that I think they have a lot of respect for. You. They played in your program here for quite some time. What can you tell us about them? How special are they here for you, especially this year? And what you kind of lean on them, right? They're your senior, so I'm sure they have a big responsibility. But just how special are they here for you?
Man, you know, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have those two girls playing basketball. I'll start off with number 10, Addy Christian. She's our firecracker. Man, she's all over the place. She is a competitor. She gets out there. She's going to work. You know, one thing about Addison is like she's grown every year and just kind of improved and improved. And last year we graduated our starting point guard who was Alexis Rios. She was a 4-year starter for us. And you know, losing Alexis to graduation, we knew it was going to be a challenge, and we had to put someone in there to replace her that could handle the job. And, you know, Addie's done a great job with that. You know, we challenged her in the fall, in the spring after basketball season was over. And we told her like, hey, look, this is going to be your job and this is what you're going to do. And this is what we expect from you. And she didn't back down from the challenge. She was ready to go. Some days are better than others. And, you know, some days, you know, she gets a little down on herself. But the thing about Addison is she's always willing to learn. She's always willing to get better. And whatever we ask her to do, she's going to do. Like I said, she's a firecracker. She's out there. She's all over the court. Sometimes she's on the floor a little bit too much because she's just kind of just like she's gonna fight you tooth and nail. But but to have Addison in the senior spot and to be a team leader, she leads by example. And when she's out there playing as hard as she does, it's only going to drive the young ones to want to do the same thing as well. But throughout the years, she's worked on her shot, she's worked on her ball handling, she's worked on numerous things that we asked her to do. We put that challenge in front of her, and she accepted it, and she's been doing a great job with it. Moving on to Marilin Martinez, number 4. She's our multi-sport player. She does everything, from cross country, softball, track. She does it all. But coming into the year, Marilin, we really didn't know whether Marilyn was going to start or if she was going to be a role player coming off the bench. But here lately, Marilyn is just, she's a competitor. And I'm telling you, defensively, she just gives us another edge. And whether we've got her on the top of the press, whether we got her on the top of the 1-2-2, or whether she's on the top of our 2-3, or we put her man-to-man against their best offensive player, she's never going to back down from a challenge. Marilyn is going to fight. She's not even looking at the scoreboard. Whether we're up by 20, down by 20, her effort and her game, the way she works and how hard she plays, she's going to go all the way. All the way in. She's not going to sit there and she's not going to take any breaks. One thing that's really helped out with Marilyn also is her ball handling has come along. And not only that, but her shot, man, her shot has just come a long way from where she was at her freshman year to where she's at now. And that's just a testament to how hard she works. And the little time that she can, we don't, like I said, she plays multiple sports. So in the summer, whenever she can come to basketball, she's here with us. And we're gracious and we're glad that she does that. And she'll come in and she'll put in the work. But not only does she do it in the summer, she really focuses. If it's basketball time, she's really going to give us everything she's got. So with her shot improving, her ball handling improving, her defense has always been there. She's worked her way into the starting role. And that's why, it's just having her out there like that, again, is another one. When she plays as hard as she plays, if I got Addison playing that hard, if I got Marilyn playing that hard, the other 3 on the court have no other choice but to match that and play as hard as they're playing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Addison, yeah, she is a firecracker. That's one thing she's got a lot of energy. She was ready today after a long day. I think she still had energy to go.
Yeah, she does.
So it was really fun to interview him. Coach, thank you for bringing him out. And again, Coach, we've invited Coach B to join us every Thursday. Like I said, Thursday is the podcast for Toloso Midway. So again, Coach Garcia was supposed to come on at 7, but he had to cancel out. I couldn't make it, but he did text me that he will be back next week. So we hope to have him there and talk about the Warriors basketball. But we've invited Coach B when he's available to come out every Thursday during the basketball season. So hopefully we're scheduling him every Thursday around 5:36 when practice ends. And when Coach can't make it, he'll let me know, and then I'll create a post. But outside of that, I'd be expecting them to come out. He'll continue to talk about the program. And you never know. You got to tune in live because you never know who he's going to bring on, what player is going to come on, right? Sometimes you'll have players, maybe sometimes you won't. But tune in right here on the Tribe Sports Network, our Facebook page, every Thursday. We'll be talking basketball for the rest of the season with Coach B, Coach Garcia. And they might have some players. Man, Coach, thank you very much. I think it was a great first episode. The girls did a great job. We were able to talk about some of the players, and you were able to talk about your program, where we sit right now, what the expectation is. That's why we do this podcast, to give Coach an opportunity to talk to the community and let them know what's going on. And hopefully you guys get excited and want to come out. Those that haven't, yeah, come on out. It's still early in district. Still got an opportunity. There's a couple of home games to come on out and really cheer our basketball programs. I'm telling you, the louder the crowd, the packer the gym is packed. It makes a difference for the teams, and it could be the result of a W for us. So definitely come on out when you get an opportunity tomorrow here at Toloso Midway. 2 varsity games, the boys and the girls district against Cal Allen. Didn't get any better. We need our TM Warrior Nation to come out to the gym and support our basketball programs. Coach B, thank you very much. Good luck tomorrow. We're looking forward to next week to continue to talk. We'll recap some games, preview some games, and maybe there'll be some interviews. But Coach, I'll give you the final word. Anything you want to add, sir, before we let you go?
I'd just like to appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for inviting us on. Like you said a second ago, we like for everyone to come out to tomorrow night. First game's JV starts at 5:00. Varsity girls 6:15, boys at 7:30. It's our whiteout game, so if you can come out, school colors are good if you're going to wear your maroon, but if you can come out in your white, we'd appreciate the white. Everyone wearing white because, like I said, it's the whiteout game. But man, come out and check us out. If you don't have anything to do on Friday night, come out to Toloso Midway High School. Big game tomorrow, TM versus Cal Allen. It's always a good game. Just come out and support, check us out, and enjoy some good basketball.
Absolutely. Coach, the whiteout, is there a reason why, or is that just something that we do there at Tulsa
Just
Midwood? Kind
Yeah,
of
since we're playing home and the teams are wearing white, we encourage everyone, all the fans, if they can wear white. Again, like I said, if you're wearing your maroon, hey, that's fine. As long as you come out, support the Warriors and the Cherokees, we're good to go. But if you can come out, you can wear your white, hey, we greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. No, if that's what it is, that's what we got to do. So definitely hearing coach here, man. Come on out, support. We really need all of the support. It does make a difference. People sit around and say, we'll go next time. But this is a huge game. The coaches put a lot of time into the game plan, and the girls, they work so hard. I know they just appreciate you come out and you see that jam packed with your crowd. It gives you that extra boost, and that could be the difference of a win. So coach, good luck tomorrow, man. I hope you get the win. I think that would put us in the driver's seat. Obviously, we still got a lot of work to do, but that would be a huge win for us and really put us in the driver's seat, I think, into the expectation, what we want to definitely be able to win district and go into the playoffs. So win tomorrow really gets us closer to that goal. So definitely come on out. Good luck, and we'll see you next Thursday right here around 5:30 or 6, Coach.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Have a
Thank
great
you.
night.
Yes, sir. You too.